going to give him the mic, and I would ask our guests just to repeat the question so everyone can hear, and take it away.
Question for Bob Spaulding. Question for Bob Spaulding. Yes, sir.
How is the Ventures do Jerry Lorden album coming along?
Okay, the question was, how did you get so good at playing the guitar?
I practice every day.
I'm just kidding. That's a very good question. And let me see if I understand your question. How is the Ventures Jerry Lorden album coming on?
Tribute to Jerry Lorden. How's it coming along?
Tribute, yeah, how's it coming along? Well, I think it's just starting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think the idea just got planted.
Well, I mentioned it last year.
You did?
And you said, oh, that's a good idea, and then I never heard anything.
Oh.
I was waiting to make you a demo of all this stuff.
Yes. That would be good, actually. Actually, it's a good idea, but I said that last year, and I can't say it again this year.
Or the Zappa one.
Yeah. The Zappa is not going well. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Frank Zappa is not going well. Even though we've had a person in the Ventures that did play with Frank Zappa once, Jerry McGee. But having said that, we have an album complete, and we're negotiating with a record company in the United States, and we're also be doing a record, would also be released in Japan also. So that's coming along nicely because it's finished. And hopefully we can get that out probably in the summer of next year. So that's going. So I'll say that's a good idea, the Jerry Lorden thing, yeah. Again,
You don't know him over here, so you might as well do it outside.
Exactly, yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Seeing you play some of the non-Ventures songs, the jazzy stuff, you play that in Japan as well?
Are you talking about some of the
Non-Ventures songs, like you played some of them before, I don't know the names of them.
Oh, the ones that we just did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, we haven't yet, and I doubt that we will for a while because we're basically trying to get back to roots with the Ventures music and the sound. And this is a little bit away from the roots, I think. So,
It's enjoyable.
thank you very much. Anything else? Yes, Danny has a.
Are you ever gonna bring the Ventures back to like the Ventures in Pops, with working with big orchestras?
I'm trying the best I can to get two other guys here. And unfortunately this year, and I have to pass this on because Leon wanted me to and Ian wanted me to, that both of them are caught up in some heavyweight real estate situations right now, and that they had to address as soon as they got back from Japan. But they did want to pass on all their best wishes and said they both will be trying to be here next year. Now, having said that, we tried to get a job around here during that time, and unfortunately we didn't make it. So, but next year, hopefully we'll be in front of it enough to get an appearance around the Philadelphia area so that we'll all be here, for that. I have a question. Where did you get those green drumsticks?
I don't know.
Yes. Okay. Any others? Questions? For anybody?
Question for Luke. No. Oh, no.
Yeah, what was the question?
Hi, Alan.
The man of the hour.
Thank you, sir.
How does it feel? Tell us about it.
It was,
Big question.
yeah. What wasn't it? It was life-changing. It was everything that I had worked up to get to. It was the culmination of the work that I had put in, and it was just incredible. I had no idea how to put it other than it was just, sorry, is that better? A terrible public speaker. It was overwhelming, I went from sitting on the couch to packing for a flight within 12 hours, you know, running around freaking out. I went from the phone call to stage, and I think we did the math at 37 hours, and I knew 3/4 of the set, I think, right around. So it all worked out. The shows went well. It was a lot of fun. The Japanese were just super warm and welcoming, because they weren't expecting me any more than I was expecting to be there. You know, they were expecting to see Jerry when the curtain came up, most likely. So it was life-changing. I mean, that's all I can say. It was, what can I say?
Well, first, I'm very proud of you, and you're going to have to do better yet.
Thanks, Alan. I really appreciate that. Everybody,
Question for Danny?
yes.
2 questions. How long have you been playing drums? And does anyone else in your family play drums?
For the first question, this does not sound right. Get a new mic or something, Ken. For the first question, okay, it's working.
We can hear you, man.
Okay, all right, just making. It's working. I got my first sticks and pads when I was 2, so I guess you can say 2. And no. Oh yeah, Mr. Joe. I got Knuckle that plays drums.
Thank you.
Any?
I got a question for Les Frank.
Yes, sir.
When are you coming to Austin for a concert?
I'm going to come to Austin when Bob Spalding says it's okay. Because I need other musicians, and he's who I'd ask along with Luke and Evan and everybody else. And you. So, if I can work out a date to get down there, then I'll play with you guys if you'll have me play with you, and it'll be great. Thank you.
Fiona,
Yes.
I had a question for you. When you usually go to Japan yearly, did that happen to coincide with the time during the tour when Jerry was like when they had to do some personnel changes there and Jerry was not with the band, or did that happen immediately after you started?
So the question is, did my visit to Japan this year coincide with Jerry getting sick and Luke coming over? And obviously, yes. I went over for what I thought was going to be a regular 10, 12-day trip, see a few shows, do some other business, have, enjoy some time, and it was in fact my 50 years since the first time I had ever been to Japan, long before I knew the Ventures. So I got there and I met up with the guys in Tokyo. The following morning we went to Okayama, which is about 4 hours south on the train. I saw the show that night with Jerry. It was a good concert, the audience was good. They went off to do a show further south. I went further north, met with the people that I'd known for years from Aria Guitars, was spending the weekend with them, and I got a phone call that Jerry was in the hospital. So I said, sorry guys, got to leave. Went down to where Jerry was, and the following day, Luke arrived. So I saw basically Jerry's last but one concert with the group that in the summer, and I saw Luke's first, right? Yes. And in the interim, there was one show before Luke arrived when they played as a trio. I wasn't there for that, but that must have been, you should ask Bob what happened that night.
We had a lot to drink that night.
He doesn't remember.
But I want to embellish from what Fiona said relative to your question is that as it worked out, but Fiona was just a lifesaver. She just picked up from where she was on that. I don't even remember what day it was. It was Sunday or Saturday.
It was Sunday morning.
Sunday morning, and got on a train and came down. And we pulled together as a team and just implemented a contingency plan. And all of us, tried to take care of what we could. And Fiona was extremely magnanimous in helping Jerry deal with what was going on and helping deal with our promotion company in Japan, as well as communicate with Jerry's family back in the U.S. And of course, we were trying to keep our heads above water, realigning sets and then putting things together so that we could continue the tour. So, which we did. And then right after that, we had a lot to drink again. So.
Oh yeah, I have a picture to prove that. I shall settle. So, what was there anything else?
I have another question for Mr. Spalding. I happen to think that the what I call the Malibu set was a perfect set list for the amount of time that you were there.
Right.
What was involved in creating that set list?
For the Malibu shows?
Yes.
Well, let me go back a little bit because I have to tell you that Luke has been involved for the last 4 years in an apprentice program and playing Ventures music, and he's done very well. So what we've done is over the last 4 years develop sets that are oriented toward some of the early and more recognizable Ventures music from 60, I would say 61 all the way to maybe 66, and try to establish the sets in that manner so that we had as many recognizable songs, and on top of that, the material, just the material, but then we also had, I think, a renewed energy in terms of being able to perform the sets. And as you know, we had a pretty big change in costuming, both for California and then also when we got to Japan this year.
That was accepted very well, by the way, the fact that everybody was coordinated with the, well, not,
Thank you.
they didn't all have hats like you did.
Yeah. Well, they couldn't, yeah.
The ties, the black shirt, everybody, that was
Thanks.
so professional that was.
Yeah.
But earlier when we were outside off the cuff and I didn't have you on camera, we were talking about how difficult the tour was, and you alluded to the fact that probably the most difficult part for all the players was probably tackling the Japanese songs.
Well, it was, because, you know, you get into situations, as a musician, you get into situations where this is what you do, and we had to all of us learned new parts in terms of working out the Japanese material, the Japanese hit material. And we did it, you know, over the course of 24 hours, and we, of course, practiced it before we did the show, and then we did the show, and then we got better and better as the show went on.
And as I mentioned to you, Leon had the free ride, right?
Leon had a free ride. No, because actually we had to rearrange stuff because we didn't do an acoustic set like we normally did with Jerry. And so what we did is we rearranged a couple of the songs to make them a little bit more electric and a little bit more energetic. Do you want to add anything?
I'd just like to say that the new set list, the last third of the tour, or if you will, quarter of the tour, whatever, was very well received by the Japanese. By the time they got to Tokyo and we did the show in Nakano, which was 3 shows before the end, something like that. There were a lot of people. There always are a lot of industry people that come to that show. People from what used to be Toshiba, Universal Japan, from Pony Canyon that does the records now, CDs now, from the publishing company, from a lot of different places. They all said how much they enjoyed the set. And I think it made the promoters very happy because they were somewhat nervous, as they might well be, you know, oh my God, what's going to happen? And it seemed to, I mean, smooth is not exactly the word, but it was very smooth, considering what you would expect. Because it's not something that happens on a regular basis. When you know, something like that happens, it's not that easy. And the guys handled it very, very professionally, and everybody was very happy with it.
Yes.
If nobody's going to ask any questions, I'm not glad. I was noticing that you were using a wireless microphone in Japan. How did that go over with the audience?
Well, we have been using wireless for some time. Actually, ever since I've been going over there, we've been using wireless, and it's just become the way you perform in Japan. And we have a great crew in Japan. And in Japan, we travel with probably about 8 people that are part of the crew, and then of course the band members, and so we have a large set of folks that go with us, and we try to stay state of the art as much as we can over there.
I mean, it seemed like you were out in the aisles amidst the fans.
Well, part of the show has been for many years is Jerry McGee playing House of the Rising Sun, and as he does that, he goes down into the audience. And he goes down into the audience and walks around, and he can do that because it's wireless. And we've kidded around for some time about, why don't we have 2 people go down, And so we started that this year. And ironically, we started that without even knowing that Jerry was, going to, go down, halfway through the tour. But it is, one of the things that helps us do that kind of theatrics, if you will, with wireless. Yeah.
I have a question for Wes. Wes, do you want to go first?
Dan, you go first. He'll go first. What's your favorite Ventures song to play? It's okay, you can tell. There's so many good ones.
It's true. I'll get back to you on that one. Let's take it away.
He's got that one down already. He's already brilliant at PR. Yes, ma'am.
I'm a novice to some of this, but
So am I.
I've read that you are a MIDI guitarist. What is MIDI guitar?
Well, I had that here last year, so you missed that. When the 80s began, synthesizers became able to be interconnected with a special wire with 5 little pins in it. And MIDI was invented by Dave Smith of Sequential Circuits and the fellow who ran Roland, who just passed away, and J.L. Cooper, who was a friend of mine, who he and I invented switch boxes where you had a lot of things hooked up with MIDI and you could change which talk to what. So what MIDI basically does, it's like 16 radio stations, 16 channels, and each signal goes on each channel, so you can hear different instruments on each channel. So years ago, I'll try to make this short because it is a long story. I acquired a MIDI guitar called a Synthax, which was very big, very heavy, and very unwieldy looking, but it worked. And I changed the sound of television music in commercials. I wrote Honey Nut Cheerios and American Express and Crisco and Nestle's, and I did all the music for One Life to Live, the soap opera. And today you can still hear my MIDI guitar on Family Feud. All the music on Family Feud is me. I wrote it, played it. So, of course, I had to sign away the residuals, that's why I'm still playing. Thank you for the question.
Question?
Question. You've never played England. Is there any reason why you've never played England? Would you play England?
Well, since I come from England originally, it's quite interesting because we had a sub-publisher in England for many, many years, and as Dave probably knows, we've tried on a number of occasions to do something, and we've never been able to make an agreement with any agency to bring us over because, partly perhaps because of the shadows, the Ventures are sort of not quite as well known as they might be, even though there are a lot of fans in England. And it's never really worked in Europe the same way as it has in Japan. And it's a shame, because I know there are a lot of fans in England, in Scandinavia, in Germany, in Spain, all over. But there's never been, I was so, pardon my French, but I did talk to somebody once a long time ago when Mel was still alive, and he said, well, it's a matter of bums on seats. And he could not say, because he didn't know that there would be the audience there, so he couldn't offer a decent fee, so we never did it. I think we should.
Yeah, I was explaining that in Liverpool every year they have a festival, guitar festival.
Yeah.
And they have all sorts of different artists. I don't know how, if you have to approach people, or if they have to approach you to come and play those sort of things, you know? Because obviously the music industry in Liverpool is still the way it has been. And it's just a shame, because obviously like the music, you know, it's, I know a lot of the stuff, I've never heard most of it before, or not realised where it's come from, and I'm sure there's a lot of people in England that would love to actually see you kind of live, you know? Yeah.
Well, Bob used to go to the, what do they call it? It was somewhat along these lines, but it wasn't only ventures, it was more bands. But they used to do it every year. They stopped a few years ago. But there are plenty of fans there. So, I don't know. If we could find somebody interested, I'm sure the guys would be very, very happy to go.
Absolutely. Yeah. Les, is that the guitar you've been using in your set, or do you have something else in mind?
This is it. And,
that's not the one that you posted on Facebook.
No.
Okay.
This guitar, which I'm pleased to say Jeff Green owns, which he has lent me, is the number 6 example of 25 of my signature Hallmark guitar, and which Bob Shea, wherever you are, there you are, master luthier, builds Hallmark guitars, and this guitar evolved from the following. A fan on Facebook said, Les, if you like Mosrites, and I love Mosrites, obviously, you should try Bob's guitar. So Bob and I talked about it, and he sent me one of his green Surf Pro guitars, and I used it in a gig in California, and they had some black lights going on behind me, and the thing sounded like a wasp nest buzzing. It was just, I couldn't get a good signal to noise ratio on it. So I asked him to put in some humbucking pickups, and he said, well, we have these nice special covers, I'll make them for you. Then I took it to my tech in Colorado, and we changed the pot value to change the sound of it somewhat. And the next thing we knew, I had a signature model, and I use this all the time. I've used it on my 2 latest records, Welcome to the New Age and Attack. And it's a phenomenal guitar. In fact, it's so good that when I walked in here tonight, I had never picked up Jeff's number 6 guitar. It feels identical to my number 1. That's what do you call that word? Consistency. The most consistent guitar maker I've ever seen. Every single one of his guitars feels absolutely the same. So give him a hand. He's wonderful.
After Danny was here last year, there was a lot of correspondence with his mom back and forth, and I decided to, since you like Mel Taylor so much, I decided to kind of look in the collection and look at some CDs that you could pop in, and you remember I recommended 10th anniversary, so the reason why I ran it by our local drummer friend, Mr. Conley, over there in the corner. After I had done it, probably Forrest and some of the other drummers in the room would probably agree that Mel didn't get the credit as a drummer that he should have gotten. And I always felt like, hey, the Ventures were a cover band, so therefore he had to know how to play all different types of music. And I picked that 10th anniversary because I really felt like that was 24 songs of a lot of different styles of music. And I wanted the little guy to, pull it up and attack it, which he did. So a little call out to all of our other drummers in the room that, if you want to get from Maria the exact email address and you want to suggest other things, we don't have to keep them on the strict venture regimen. But we would think if you had some other things you want him to listen to, hey, you know what? All of his best years are ahead of him. So, Danny, I just want to thank you for coming. And anyway, I wanted to share that with people that I felt like Mel never got the credit. And for him to actually listen to the original version of Wipeout, master it in a minute and a half, and then tackle the more challenging Wipeouts. There were 7 or 8 of them right in a row. And I think, Danny, you told us that you told me and your mom, and when she interviewed you after the fest, you told her through me that you got upset. What was that all about? Why did you get upset when you pulled up the Safari's Wipeout and then you saw the Ventures?
I love this mic, don't I?
You don't like the mic?
No, I said
you
I love this
have.
mic, don't I?
Get used to it.
Because I thought they were copywriting their song. I didn't know you had to pay a certain amount of money. That's just me. Typical 7-year-old doesn't know a thing. Oh, for my answer to your question, Caravan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Still got time tonight, right? Oh, okay.
We could do that. I did.
When I stepped on stage with the Ventures in 2004, which was at Noki's invitation, some of you may or may not know, I recorded several times with Noki. Loretta and I met him at Louis Fest in Tacoma, which was rudely interrupted by John Kerry's speech. But he came up to, I walked up to him and I knew it was him, and I said hi. And he said, you want to sit and play? And I said, yes. He said, do you know our material? I said, is the Pope Catholic? So we sat down, we went through the usual hit numbers, and he said, well, I have to tell Don about you. And they invited me to come into Issaquah, Washington to play. And they had me come on stage for Caravan, and I don't do that song in the same key they do. So that was an adventure. But yeah, Danny, if you want to play it tonight, I'll have Bob play the lead and I'll play the rhythm, and that way I won't look stupid and you'll look brony.
You're kidding, right? I'm kidding, right?
No, you're not.
I think we have time for one more question, if anyone.
Next. Going once, going twice.
What's next, Dave?
Sold to David.
Thank you. How about a big round of applause for our panel? You've done some new things tonight. It's time for the cake, and Les Franken's going to get his group together, okay, folks? So.